Welcome to the Podcast with Purpose.
Welcome back to the Podcast with Purpose. I am your host, Nate Link, and today we are joined by Human Technology's maestro of money. This person, along with his dedicated team, play a pivotal role in keeping this company financially fit, ensuring that every dollar is wisely spent and every opportunity for growth is seized. Our guest also has a passion and a history of dedicating his time to making sure that everyone's holiday lists are checked off, making him the perfect guest today for this podcast. It is my pleasure to welcome to the podcast Human Technology CFO, Carl Rystrom. Carl, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Nate. It's a pleasure to be here. This is my first podcast.
Well, I hope that it is everything you thought a podcast would be and a little bit more. We aim to please here. So, Carl, a few weeks back, I sent out an email to the company kind of lightly saying, hey, Human Technologies is the presenting sponsor, naming sponsor for this year's Stuff the Bus CNY campaign. Mm-hmm. So now we have an opportunity to kind of tell folks a little bit more of what's going on and how we can all get involved. But let's start with exactly what is the Stuff the Bus CNY campaign and how is Human Technologies getting involved with it this year?
So this program began in 2008 by Roser Communications. And during the last 15 years, they've collected hundreds of thousands of toys and distributed those toys to many needy children in the Mohawk Valley. So HT became involved this year. They were looking for a title sponsor. Their title sponsor dropped out at the last minute, and they asked us to consider being a sponsor. And we looked at this as an opportunity for HT to become involved because that's really an extension of our core beliefs. Our core beliefs. You know our core beliefs?
I know them, yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah. There's three of them.
Each of us make an impact.
Yep.
What's the next one?
Work done well makes everything possible.
And probably the most important one.
Work of our people transforms communities.
Right. So this is really a natural extension of that. So our people, if they contribute to this program here, HT will also contribute money towards this program. So we're going to help transform the holidays for people in our community. That's just a perfect synergy.
This does seem like the perfect fit for Human Technologies. One of the things I tell people about one of the things I love about Human Technologies is I've never seen a group of individuals who are so dedicated.
They're passionate
to making a difference in their community. So this is right up our alley. So I guess the main question is how do we participate? How can employees participate?
So there are lots of ways that employees can participate in the program. If they're here in the Mohawk Valley, there'll be drop boxes here at Dwyer Ave, and there'll be another one down in our warehouse on Bleecker Street.
Yep.
For employees who work in the Mohawk Valley, the Rome, Utica area, if you want to provide that gift to your supervisor, they will bring it physically here so we can aggregate all those and bring them down to Roser Communications during the cutoff in a couple of weeks.
Beautiful. So there really is, we're making this very easy to participate here in the Mohawk Valley. But I know, we're well across New York State, Buffalo, Binghamton, Syracuse. We're in Pennsylvania, and we're even in Delaware. So how do we incorporate the whole company into this? How do those employees in those areas participate as well? Yeah,
they'll be able to participate. We're trying to make it easy. Unfortunately, we're kind of short on time right now.
Yep.
It's a couple of weeks before Christmas, but there are cutoffs earlier than that because they need to be able to provide the items to the other nonprofits, and then they hand them out to their families. So our cutoff's a little bit earlier than that. Mm-hmm. So to make it easy, we created Amazon shopping lists.
Okay.
And there are items, pre-selected items, with a ship-to address to a Toys for Tots location in their geographic area. So if you're in Buffalo, if you want to donate a Barbie or a Transformer, I know I'm dating myself, but they're crayons and coloring books, all these. If that's what you want to donate, if that's what's on the list there, then that'll stay in your respective community. Mm-hmm. That way they can begin to transform their community in which they live.
I had a little hand in setting up these lists. So they're very easy. Again, we will, in the show notes to this podcast, and we'll send an email out to everybody. I'm going to have all the individual links to everyone's different area. So it'll make it real easy. You basically click on the link. The Amazon shopping list will pop up. Everything is $15 or under, which makes it easy as well. The nice part is you go through, everything's Prime eligible if you have Prime. And you check out, and it goes, to your point, Carl, directly to the Toys for Tot headquarters in that area, which works out perfectly. Human Technologies is the naming sponsor for this. Mm-hmm. But I know historically we usually go a little above and beyond. What else are we doing with this campaign?
Well, we're also going to contribute ourselves. So we want to make sure that HT is also putting our money where our mouth is.
Yep.
So even though, in the Master of Coin or Carl Claus, whatever term we want to use here, we're going to have a match.
Okay.
So they want toys, but they also, there's money they'll collect so they could buy additional toys depending upon ultimately what they receive. So we're going to match the employee contribution.
Yep.
It'll be $10 a gift for every gift that's donated in this program, not only here in the Mohawk Valley, but throughout all of our locations.
Yep.
We're going to match up to $10 per gift.
Yeah.
And we want that to be a pretty big number.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no cap.
Yep.
So if we donate 500 items, do the math.
Yeah. So everyone hears that. Let's get these boxes filled in these lobbies, and let's get those Amazon lists going right now. And I know, Carl, you did mention that we are under the gun a bit this year. We started this a little bit later than we would have wanted to, but we're setting the precedents for years to come.
Correct.
But we want to make sure we get these gifts in Santa's sleigh on time. So when does this whole thing wrap up? And pun intended on that. When does this whole thing?
That's pretty good. For a marketing guy, you're pretty witty.
I am okay. When does this whole thing wrap up?
Our cutoff is going to be Tuesday, December 12th.
Okay.
The reason why we have to provide all those gifts to Roser Communications for the next day.
Mm-hmm. Okay, beautiful. And I know in talking with all of the local Toys for Tots campaigns, it's that same date as well. The same thing. They have to make sure they get everything staged. They know what they have, and they know who to get it to. The appropriate gifts for the appropriate children.
Do you know why we chose Toys for Tots?
You know what? I'd like to talk a little bit about that.
So Toys for Tots actually started back in the 40s. It was actually a wife of a Marine colonel who she was trying to find an organization where she could donate dolls, like Raggedy Ann dolls.
Yep.
And believe it or not, at the time there wasn't. So her husband and a bunch of reservists got together and they created the first campaign where they actually had collection boxes at a local movie theater. I believe it was in Los Angeles. And they collected 5,000 items within a 2-week time period, and it just grew from there. So it's really, talk about natural extension and evolution. Human Technologies, our start was based upon the returning Korean War veterans.
That's right.
But most of the folks that work in Pennsylvania and Delaware, and even throughout the thruway, Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, Schenectady area, those are Navy, those are Marine bases.
Right.
So to have a program kind of started by the Marines, having our employees working in those facilities, again, it's just a natural extension. It's an evolution of HT.
I think that fit is just so perfect in some of the conversations I had back and forth with the folks from Toys for Tots. I was actually calling Marine bases, and I told them our connection, and you could tell that they went from that kind of strict, straight-laced Marine voice to more of a smile, and you could almost feel it over the phone, that smile.
I'm sure.
So I think that's super cool. And again, so after all these toys are collected, I know locally, the day of the 13th, all of the Roser Communications has a local office here, and for anyone who doesn't know, I think they have 3 radio stations: Kiss FM, Bug Country, and I believe Talk of the Town.
Correct.
As well. And they have a beautiful state-of-the-art studio over in North Utica, which has a very large lobby. And that lobby, I can tell you, is completely filled with toys. I've never seen anything like that before.
I was just over there this week, and what I thought was a lot, they said, just wait till next week.
Yeah.
Wait till this thing is done. So the room is very large. They said it'll get to about 4 feet tall. It's probably 40 feet wide. And they have all their offices, toys are put in there.
Yeah.
Just anywhere they could put them, they put them.
Yeah.
So on the 13th, that's when they're going to start to take all the gifts and separate them.
Yep.
And they'll then start the distribution process to the 40 agencies in which they work with in the Mohawk Valley. And there's a number of them that a lot of us are familiar with. CAVI's part of it.
Yep.
ICANN, House of the Good Shepherd, Rescue Mission. A lot of organizations that work with similar populations as human technology says.
Yeah, I think the ability, in my mind, and I pretty much think the rest of the folks here at HT share the same feeling. The ability to put a smile on a kid's face and a sense of pride in a parent's heart, because we can make sure that a household that maybe wouldn't be able to have this opportunity to make those two feelings is just amazing to me. It just truly speaks of who we are and what we do, but it's again, it's that sense of community involvement, that sense of impact, and I couldn't be more than happy to be part of this.
Oh, we're thrilled. Historically, our employees have been very generous.
Yes.
The different causes, whether they're walks, if our employees need assistance, they're the first ones to step up.
Yeah.
And, this is very near and dear to my heart. Yep. Not only, through HT, but my history. You mentioned that earlier.
That's right.
I've been associated with Toys for Tots for a number of years for Golisano Children's Hospital, led those toy drives back in the day. But I actually started when I was pretty young. Back when I was in college, we adopted a family. And, they put the list of what they needed. And most of them were, I need gloves, I need scarves.
Yeah.
The essentials.
Yeah.
But they put the ages of the children as well as the parents. So we went, I've gotten the necessities, but we also said, hey, wouldn't they like this? Let's have something fun for them.
Yeah.
And, obviously we've never met them. And it's supposed to be blind, but they sought us out afterwards. And they said, you made our Christmas. The smile on our kids' faces was something that I'll never forget. And from that point forward to now, Christmas for me, the ability, that one time a year where you truly can make a difference in someone else's life, to take that opportunity, it's well worth it.
It is.
And I think there's hundreds of other stories like that here at HT. That's my personal story. Maybe that'll be a story down the road. They'll know that this stuff came through us, the Stuff the Bus program. HT was part of it, and they can tell their kids, their family about their involvement in something it's a great program. It
is. And it's, in the spirit of making memories, part of the Stuff the Bus campaign, they have, I believe it's close to 12 live remotes. So they'll go to different places and the bus actually pulls up and a DJ from one of the radio stations are there. And there's an opportunity for everyone to come in and literally try and stuff this school bus with toys. And this weekend, I am bringing my 7-year-old son with me to one of those events. And we're going to be dressed up in our HT gear, and I have the ability with him to make
a hat. You're going to wear a hat.
We have our Santa hats. Yes, I have one that says Dad. He has one that says Johnny. Nice. So we have our HT gear on, and I'll have the ability the opportunity to do that with him and start making some memories as well, and get those planted for the next generation to come. And
he'll remember that the rest of his life.
Yeah, I am beyond thankful for that opportunity. To me, it's not going somewhere on a Saturday. To me, it's spending quality time. Teaching my son something, but also just feeling that holiday spirit, really feeling it. I know it sounds a little bit corny, but it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
You want to help someone that needs help.
Yes.
And if this is your opportunity to do so, take it.
Yeah.
And especially you now transferring that knowledge to your children.
Yes.
You can't beat it.
So that's everything in a nutshell. But the important things are those dates, the 12th. Everything's got to be in by the 12th. So if you are in the 2260 building or the 2332 Bleecker Street building, there will be the large boxes with the poster in the lobbies. Okay. If you are on the offsites, there will be the Amazon list, and I will provide a link in an email that's going out to the company. in those Amazon lists. I will also be sending that same group of links out to all the supervisors and managers. So if for some reason you don't see it, you don't get the email, and we'll be talking to them. They'll also be coming around and sharing these links with you, because we really want to give. There's two things going on here. There's the opportunity for these families to get these gifts, but there's also the opportunity for people to participate, our employees to participate in this. And I don't want to have anyone miss out on that opportunity as well. So there's those two things going on. So we're going to, push that and make sure all of that gets around to everybody.
That's great.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I just thank you for the opportunity to come on the podcast. I am just down the hall, so you could any other time you want me to appear, I'd be more than happy to come down. But I think this is such a great opportunity, and I do thank you for inviting me here. And to anyone who can contribute, we truly appreciate it.
Yep.
And if you can't, it's okay.
Yes,
it truly is okay.
Yes.
So whatever you can do, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
But we just want everyone here at HT to have a great holiday season.
Yeah. We're gonna leave everybody with that, and we hope to talk to y'all soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.